When it comes to insurance, you want someone you can trust. Look, you trust me with your time. You listen to me to laugh, to think, or so that I can make you mad with something I've said. Look, trust the person that I trust when it comes to insurance. John Runyon with Farm Bureau. John is a longtime friend of mine, since junior high actually, and has been my insurance agent the last 4 or 5 years. He will be honest, fair, and maybe most importantly, communicate with you in a timely manner. When I had a rock go through my windshield and needed to make a claim, the process was quick and easy, and I had a check mailed to me almost instantly. To see what he can do for you when it comes to home, auto, or life insurance, contact him via phone at 865-982-2559, or you can shoot him an email to get the ball rolling at John, John, .runyon, RUNYAN, at FBITN.com. That's 865-982-2559, or John.Runyon at FBITN.com. John Runyon with Farm Bureau.
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
Ladies and gentlemen.
All I know is you never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
What is it with you and this obsession with this varsity crap? Crap.
People come to us because we don't sell them on anything.
They can't refuse because of the implication.
You wonder ever you're a bad man?
World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door. Some things are a matter of duty.
The world's greatest
podcast
in
America.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough to dispute.
And I was about to take advice from a clown who dives headfirst into the shallow end of the pool.
It's
The world's greatest podcast in America.
with John Reed and Cody McClure.
If it is to be said, so it be, so it is. So it is.
It's a Tennessee thing!
Well, I'm holding
The world's greatest podcast in America. John Reed in Tennessee. Cody McClure in Austin, Texas. Happy Thursday to you, Cody. March Madness trademark is upon us.
Happy Thursday. We are it's a bit of a delay there. We are going. It is bracket time. I got all my selections made. Got the game on in the background right now. About to start things off 0-2, so we're off to a hot start. I'm probably not going to have a perfect bracket if Mississippi State and BYU lose.
Yeah, it looks like your bracket's about to be unperfect after the first game, which mine is too, although one of the quote-unquote upsets, one of the sleeper surprises I picked was Duquesne in the Sweet 16.
Oh.
So, Duquesne looking pretty good against BYU early, up 14 in the 16-minute mark in the second half. So that one looks okay.
The great Eric Clapton song, She Don't Lie, She Don't Lie, She Don't Lie, Duquesne. You know that song? I can't take credit for that. I heard Russell do that yesterday, but I thought it was pretty funny. So that's a Russell Smith line, not one of my hits. I played my greatest hit on Twitter a little while ago.
I saw that. You love you some Russell Smith, between saying you were thinking about his hog size in the last podcast to paying homage to his joke today.
Well,
you're a big Russell Smith guy.
Well, let's not act like Russell's just full of humor or anything, but I thought that was a pretty good one.
I'm not acting like he's full of humor. I'm saying you're a big fan. You shouted him out 2 podcasts in a row. First about his penis and now about his joke. So I'm not saying anything about Russell one way or the other.
First of all, I just asked you to imagine Russell's penis. I wasn't thinking about it. But I do like tuning in sometimes to him and Bear in the afternoon in Houston and Tucker when I'm driving around, because they're on at the same time that I'm out and about, and it's kind of good to hear some familiar voices. So I'm a listener of the drive from time to time.
That horse sister Jean picking us to lose to St. Peter's. I think I hold you personally responsible for that.
She doesn't. I don't think she is aware of me. I don't think she was made aware of me.
I also think she picked St. Peter's because of like saint in the name.
Yeah,
and, like the religious part of it. Like I think that's what's going on there.
because she's a dirty Catholic.
Yeah, I don't think she's like breaking down Rick Barnes's March Madness resume or what Tennessee or St. Peter's actually does on the court. I imagine she was just riding with Big God.
Well, let me be very clear on one thing about Sister Jean. I am personally really ready for the day that she puts on her pointy black hat and grabs her broom and jumps on her bicycle and rides it straight into hell.
Well, couple things here. You missed a good joke about I don't know what I said. I said something about riding to the grave or something, or I don't know. You missed a joke there. But also, why would she need a broom and a bicycle? Because the broom is supposed to be transportation.
Because I was thinking about the Wicked Witch of the West on that bicycle, but then I thought a witch also needs a broom, so you can carry it.
What was the Wicked Witch of the West on a bicycle? I thought Dorothy was on the bicycle. Did the witch get on the bicycle too?
Unless I'm just Mandela affecting the Wizard of Oz, I thought the Wicked Witch was on a bicycle. But
maybe, I don't know. I just think of witches and brooms, and you tell her to grab her broom, so she won't need to get on a bike if she already has transportation. She could just fly around on said broom.
Well, a witch needs a bicycle on the ground. The broom is for flying. So you got to keep the broom on you in case you need to take flight as a nun. But you need to be able to move around on the ground, too. And, she's pretty old. She probably can't walk around good, so she needs the bicycle for ground transportation.
You mean if she has a flying broom, why wouldn't she just float around on the broom to get to one place or the other? Why would she waste time pedaling, especially giving her advanced age?
Because you got to have wheels on the ground. You can't fly a broom on the ground. I mean, airplanes don't fly on the ground. They put down their landing gear. The bicycle is Sister Jean's landing gear in this particular situation. And the broom is her mode of flight.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't make up the rules. She's 104 years old. So, I don't know what she does. Can you imagine how bad do you think she smells?
Yeah, I'd imagine she's pretty rotten.
Do you think she bathes herself?
I don't want to think about her bathing.
What do you think that monkey smells like?
Okay, let's move on.
How's your week going?
The Wicked Witch of the West did have a monkey, so that's what you were referring to was the witch's monkeys. Yeah.
She had several monkeys.
How's my week going? It's going okay. I made my debut in kickball last night. Went 2-0.
You've been playing kickball?
Yeah, like in one of those adult leagues. Last night was they started 2 weeks ago, but I didn't go 2 weeks ago. But I went last night, and we had a doubleheader. Went 2-0. Stubbed my finger pretty bad. I don't know if you can see how purple my finger is. So that sucks. The fact I got an injury playing adult league kickball.
I haven't played kickball since middle school, probably.
Yeah, I don't imagine you'd be very good at it.
I was great at it back in middle school, but I haven't played since I was a kid.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah, we had field day. In 5th grade, we had different games and stuff we would play, and kickball was my favorite. I was very good. I always scored. Why do you think I wouldn't be good at kicking a ball? I got a big, strong leg.
Because you then have to run?
I could run. I was pretty good in short bursts. It's not like you run in a marathon. It's not it's 800 meters or nothing. I could run some bases.
I'm not buying it. I don't think you're good at kickball. I understand that you're trying to.
You're any good at it now.
I understand you're trying to sell this story about being good, but because I can't check the tape. I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm a superstar, but I did launch one to the moon yesterday, and it was a bases clearing hit and got us to our run limit for the inning. But it was over it was over a girl's head, so like I can only take, partial credit for it. But I did launch it pretty good, and it just kept going and going and going, and it went way over her head. But it was a girl.
Doing in an adult league kickball? Are you going through a midlife crisis?
It's nice to have a little competition still in your life. Nice to make some new friends.
What's next? Dodgeball?
I would love to play dodgeball. I played in an adult league dodgeball thing one time, and my team was not athletic. It was not athletic. It was with my ex-girlfriend's work, and they were all very non-serious. Or for the most part, most of them were non-serious, just old, having fun. We went up against some people that were very serious and very athletic, and most of the times it was a slaughter. That was not as fun, although I'm pretty good at dodgeball, too. I'm pretty good at catching balls. And, I did a good job on the hot corner last night on third base. I was catching balls and making some big plays. And the problem is we have a coach, apparently, or a captain, somebody that's putting the team together, and he was trying to mansplain everything to everyone, which you have to have girls on your team. So, that's understandable. Hey, tell the girls what to do, blah, blah, blah. Even though I think that's a little patronizing. But then he's trying to tell me how to catch a ball. I'm like, okay, bro, relax. I know what's happening here. I talk sports for a living.
I'm a regular Julian Edelman over here. Okay, I can catch a ball.
Yeah, and trying to explain the rules of, well, this guy's on second and first, so you have to go on contact. If it's a ground ball, it's a force out at third. Okay, we understand, my guy. And I'm playing third. The ball kind of got hit with some backspin. It's rising. I'm running. I kind of make a jumping football catch is how I would describe it. Kind of you jump and kind of put your arm. Yeah. Well, you got to jump and put your arms up like this.
Watch out, folks. We got Calvin Johnson out here on the kickball court.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I made a jumping catch. It wasn't like when you could really camp under. I jumped. I floated through the air a little bit. Some people said it looked very graceful, and proud of it. But then when I got off, he was like, nice catch. But you want to try to scoop it and catch it like this. I'm like, the hell do you mean I want to try to scoop it and catch it like this? It's at my shoulders. I was like, don't worry about me. I know how to catch a damn ball. Just relax, is what I told him.
Let me ask you something. Did this guy have a mustache and or a whistle?
No. He actually looked like kind of an older, drunker version of me. He was bald with a better beard and very stocky like me and about 10 years older.
His midlife crisis turned into a career kickball achievement.
Yeah, he started the league apparently. So I do think you're right there.
So he's like a white-haired man? Kind of gray.
No, I said bald. I said bald.
Oh, bald. I missed that.
He looks like me. He's bald with a better beard, but we're a very similar build.
How old's the guy?
I would guess 10 years older than me. If I was guessing.
So he's not old.
No, he's 10 years older than me.
For some reason, I was imagining a 60-year-old man. I don't
know. No. I listen here, Gramps. Anyways, that's what's going on in my life. Nothing else.
Okay, well, sounds like an exciting week. You guys in the studio yet?
Still no. Waiting on a piece of equipment to get shipped to us. We're waiting on something called a Comrex box, and we have to have it to basically connect studio to satellite or studio to airwaves. I don't really know. I'm not a technical guy. I just know we're waiting on one piece of equipment.
I see.
Hopefully it gets here by tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday. And then we can do test runs. And I would say maybe be in by National Championship Monday, which kind of sucks. If Tennessee advances in the Sweet 16 to not be in there for the Sweet 16 games and Elite 8 games. But we're getting close.
Yeah. Well, you should be in there by football season, hopefully. That's
the new goal, is to be in there by football season.
That's really what matters. I mean, that's the moneymaker anyway. So summer's kind of dead anyway. So, I mean, other than baseball, I guess the sports calendar could theoretically go until mid-June if you make an Omaha run.
Yeah. And late June, even, I think, if you make an Omaha run. So middle of June. And, last year there wasn't much drop off from that. And then really you only have a 2 or 3 week break before you get to SEC media days and practice. So, the off season is definitely shorter now that basketball is legit good and baseball is obviously really good. So
yeah. Well, I've had a couple of negative things happen in the last 24 hours.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, most recently, I went to the grocery store to get my meats and fats and eggs and butter and cheese for the week. And I went all the way over there, and it takes me like 20 minutes to get to the grocery store, like 15 to 20. Get all the way over there, got everything I needed, and then remembered I did not get my eggs, which are possibly my most important food group. And I'm like,
how could you forget the eggs?
I went in there, I got pork chops, steak, ground beef, sausages, coffee. I got all my shit. And I'm like, how the fuck could I forget my eggs, of all things? So after this podcast, I got to go back and get my eggs.
Oh no.
And I need some trash bags anyway, so I guess the trip to the store will be okay. But the other negative thing that happened last night, I got shot with fucking paintballs. My car.
Your car got shot?
Yeah. These fucking these scoundrels, these hooligans. I assume it's just kids being kids, but it did trigger a little PTSD. so
did they shoot you while you were riding around in your car?
Yeah, they didn't actually shoot me. They shot my car. But so I was just I was out driving around, and all of a sudden, I'm just driving down this regular highway road, like it doesn't matter, it's just a road. And I was going to this gas station, and all of a sudden I hear this bang bang, like to my left. I'm like, what the hell was that? And I look, and like this car just zooms by me, and I'm like, did somebody just shoot at me? Like, it was loud because the paintball busted on the window, and then I noticed another one busted on the, like, around on the hood kind of. And so I got shot with paintballs, but I just pulled into the gas station and just wiped it off and like poured some water. Like, it didn't even, it's not like the paint stuck or anything. So, and then it rained last night too, in case I left a little bit. But so I didn't even like think anything of it. I figured it's just kids being kids. But I did hear sirens like maybe 5 minutes after when I started cleaning my car off. And so I wonder if they probably hit somebody else too, and cops got called.
You should have rode down and followed up to see.
I didn't really care. I was just glad to have not actually gotten shot, and it's not like they did any damage. So,
which your car still has like the hail damage, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if a paintball bangs off the metal anyway. I don't care. I just wouldn't want paint to dry on there, but it didn't. So
I'm trying to think of how I would feel if someone shot me with a paintball gun.
Your car doesn't have any body damage for one thing. So if it left a dent, you'd probably be pretty pissed.
Right. I'm trying to wonder if I would try to chase them down and actually do anything about it though. Because I've done some rebellious things in my childhood, in my adolescence. I did a lot of things like that. I don't think I ever shot anybody's car with paintballs or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
but I've got similar stories.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So karma came back around on you.
Yeah, I feel like that karma should have already cycled. But 15 years ago, we vandalized a golf course and bashed some mailboxes and set fireworks off on a guy's front porch. So,
what would you say the worst thing you ever did to someone besides helping one of your football teammates sexually assault another teammate? What do you think the worst thing you probably did was?
I didn't do that. I was just present while that happened, and that wasn't really assault. It was just kind of like hazing. But anyway, what's the question? What's the worst thing I did
you've done? Yeah, that wasn't besides the sexual assault of your teammate.
Like when I was in school, when I was in high school.
Yeah. Besides the sexual assault.
I was kind of not to brag, but I was in the top clique. I was one of the ones you didn't really fuck with, so I wouldn't say I was a bully, but there were times when I definitely regret some of the other kids, and a lot of it's peer pressure, like when you're a kid and your friends are teasing somebody or whatever, you kind of get in on it. And I wouldn't say that I ever initiated anything like that, but there were definitely some stuff like swirlies and
swirlies. You gave a kid a swirly.
There was
you
this
held
kid,
somebody. So wait, swirlies are real. You held some kid up by like his midsection, his feet, and dipped his head in shit water.
Well,
or
there was
toilet water. I guess it doesn't have to be dirty water, but you gave someone a swirly.
There was this kid, Jeff, and we gave him a lot of shit. And like, one thing that I really feel bad about is me and my buddy Mo from back home took his brand new pair of sneakers. He had gotten some new shoes, and we took his brand new pair of sneakers and like, we put them in the toilet water and then we shit on them. And so like we covered his brand new shoes and shit and then didn't flush the toilet. And he came back to his locker. He's like, "Where are my shoes at?" And we're like, "Oh, I think they're in there." Like he went into the stall and he had shit covered shoes. He ended up moving to like Bolivia. No. It was Belize. It was Belize. Jeff moved to Belize because he got so much shit in America. This poor kid, dude, he was our age too. It wasn't like he wasn't a younger kid. It wasn't like a hazing thing. And like by the time we were seniors, like he had stuck around on the football team, and so by that time he had a little respect. Like by that time nobody fucked with him anymore. But when we were coming up, we definitely gave him some shit.
How old were you?
I mean, we were teenage. 15, 16, I don't know.
So you were in high school and you stood on this guy's shoes?
It might have been ninth grade. I could have been 14, 15, 16, something like that. And then there was this.
Was Jeff White?
Jeff White.
I said, was Jeff White?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very dorky white. And then there was this other kid, Clayton, and we messed with him a lot too. He was goofy. He was like he was a big drug kid. I remember he's the first one that ever told us about acid when we were like 13 years old. He's like, "What? You guys ever done acid?" I know, Clayton, we've never done acid. What are you talking about, man? He's like, "Yeah, man, I just listen to Led Zeppelin. I take a couple of hits. It makes your brain bleed. Makes your brain feel like it's oozing." It's like, oh, that's pretty wild. Which years later, of course, I did acid, and that's a pretty accurate description of it. But Clayton, I remember one time on the school bus, we were coming back from like a football game, and we had back in those days, everybody had like Axe body spray, and so we all pulled our Axe body spray out of our gym bags, and he was laying there, he was sleeping in the aisle of the bus, and we just all over his face, just sprayed Axe body spray, like in his eyes, up his nose, in his mouth, like you're pepper spraying somebody, we just covered every orifice of his face with Axe body spray, and he like turned over and started coughing and sneezing and shit. So we were rascals, but like, I don't know, I don't think I ever like hurt anybody. Like other than
what do you mean you didn't hurt anybody? You just admitted to pepper spraying someone in the face, essentially, drowning him, waterboarding him in Axe body spray, and shitting on someone's new shoes.
I don't think I actually shit. I think it was one of the other guys that shit. I don't remember shitting on the shoes. but that is what happened to the shoes.
You're a terrible person.
I am not.
Every bad thing that happens to you in your life is simply karma. I have a completely different outlook on the bad things that happen to you. Whenever you cried when you got carjacked and everyone felt bad for you, that was actually karma coming back around. You're an evil person.
I feel like that karma would have circled around. I feel like karma's got a window, doesn't it? Like
a
couple years. Like
no.
There was plenty of good and bad that happened before the carjacking. Like, I don't know which thing ties into what thing, But the vandalism thing, like, we got in trouble for that. which we were in like 8th grade when that happened, because we went on this country club with shovels. Like we dug up a green. I think I told you about that on the radio. I can't remember if I did or not, but it was just a night of mischief. We just went out just causing trouble. We were rascals. We were scoundrels. Went out with shovels and baseball bats. Like we were walking through the neighborhood, bashing people's mailboxes. We dug up the green on hole 3, or it might have been hole 2. Doesn't matter. And then the thing we did that could have really gotten us in trouble, I think, was we took a box of fireworks and put them on this kid, Patrick. We put him on his front porch, like right in front of the doorstep. And this was a pretty good sized box, like, Black Cat fireworks. And we just set it on fire. And so the box starts exploding and it's shooting out rockets and shit. And like the police got called, obviously. We were hiding in the woods and we were just watching the blue lights and like watching the cop cars go back and forth while they were patrolling the area. This was a nice part of town too. And so like, we did some kind of messed up stuff, but we got in trouble for that.
So add attempted arson to the list as well.
Well, we served our time for that because the police figured out it was us because one of my buddies talked. We still don't know who it was. I blame it on Clint. He blames it on me because we both talked to the girls a lot, but we both kind of had big mouths. And like, I think somebody told this girl Madeline, and then I think it started going around somehow or another. But we had to do community service for that. With this guy, this cop supervised us the whole time. The guy's name was John Carroll, and he's since died. R.I.P. to John Carroll. But he was a cool cop. He was like the K-9 guy, and so he was fun to work with. Like we had fun with it, even though we were doing community service, and we only had to do like 3 8-hour days, so we got off pretty easy. But,
yeah, it clearly worked because after that, you only then helped safeguard someone that was sexually assaulting a teammate, shit in somebody else's shoes, and dug up a golf course. Yeah, it clearly helped. The rehabilitation was good. Good job by the judge giving you the community service.
Boys are gonna be boys. The community service was like low key kind of fun too. We really didn't even like. One day we built like a bike trail for some underprivileged kids, like out in the woods. It was like a mountain biking thing.
Did you then go back and put some tripwire in to try to like make people wreck their bikes? You fucking asshole.
No, of course not. And then, but another day we worked with like kittens, like at the animal shelter.
So you just got to lay around and pet kittens?
Yeah, pretty much. That was basically our 8 hours of community service.
You clearly learned your lesson.
Yeah. Well, it like you said, it comes back around. I got paintballed last night, and I got roasted on Tuesday. I did this open mic Tuesday. I've done comedy the last 2 nights, so I'm getting my feet going here in Austin, and I went to this mic on Tuesday at this place called Roscoe's Comedy Club, and it's like they call it Poke the Bear. So it's you only do like 2 minutes of your material, but then while you're up there, everybody else who's there is writing jokes about you, like writing shit to make fun of you, and then you have to read those comments. So I thought it might be fun if you wanted me to. I kept all mine. I can read them to you.
Yeah, let's hear.
All right. So I was wearing my crab shirt. The one I've got it's red. It's got crabs all over it. Okay. Yeah. So the guy before me was talking about diabetes during his set, and he had like type 1 diabetes. So this guy says, "Hey guys, we found the other type of diabetes. Make a wish." And then let's see what this one says. Because I talked about keto during my set. He said, "Keto doesn't mean eat 1,000 calories of bacon." I didn't think that one was very good. This guy said, "Oh my God, the Arby's mascot is even hotter in person."
That one's pretty good. It'd be better if you were wearing like a white instead of a crab, but either way, I like that one.
This was my favorite one. He just said, "I like what you did with my tablecloth." That was my favorite one. I'm not going to read that one because it doesn't even make sense. It's like, I don't know what the fuck that guy was talking about. Shamu really let himself go. Let's see. Make like your shirt and sink to the bottom of the ocean. I also have type 2 personality. Live action Mr. Krabs. 3 of my family members are genuinely worried about my health. I dream of tying my shoes again. The only weight I lost was my hairline.
Oof. Did that one hurt?
No. Oh, I think that's all of them.
Did any of them upset you?
No, not at all. Because that was the whole theme of the night, was like making fun of everybody. And so like whoever went up there, like, and it was a lot of fun because you got to like write your own jokes. I think it's good because it's kind of a good exercise because you only get like 2 minutes while the guy's up there talking, and you got to try to come up with something funny. And then they give a prize at the end of the night to the funniest joke. And
was there an audience too, or just all comedians basically?
There was a little bit of an audience. Like it's
that kind of sucks then, because like it sounds like 80% of the people are just there writing jokes and not listening to your set. Like no one's actually listening to your jokes; they're just working on their own shit.
Well, that definitely was the vibe there, because nobody really got a lot of laughs because, like you said, they're like halfway paying attention to you because mainly they're trying to criticize your appearance and stuff. But one thing though, like I think the best joke of the night to me, or the one that stands out, was there was a guy up there who looked like Ron Jeremy. He was like an older guy and he had a lisp. So his set was literally like, he literally had like a lisp, and like you could tell he had like a real deficiency when speaking. And so obviously people made jokes about that, like the way he talked. People said you look like Ron Jeremy if he, whatever. But the best one was somebody just wrote on their card, "Sally sells seashells down by the seashore." And that got big laughs. So that was fun Tuesday. And then last night I went to a place that was like a 420 friendly comedy place. Like you gotta like sign a waiver when you go in there. It was weird.
Yeah, let's get high, let's smoke some weed and do comedy.
It was weird. Bunch of dudes just standing around like smoking pot. But that was just a 3-minute set. Like those are good. The 3-minute sets have no pressure because you're just, you can go up there and just riff for 3 minutes. Like 3 minutes goes by quick.
Don't I know it?
3 minutes.
Yeah, 2 of it spent cleaning up. I guess the big thing on my mind this week, have you seen any of the Nickelodeon documentary?
No. Is that about...
have you heard of it at all? Have you seen anything from it?
No, but I got a guess off the top of my head.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm just assuming if they made a documentary about Nickelodeon, it's probably about some sort of like some children were what's the word? Harassed. I don't know.
Molested, raped.
Well, I didn't want to be graphic, but yeah.
I mean to cut that out so we don't get taken off YouTube. Molested, assaulted, R-word.
I mean, that seems like, it's Hollywood. So
yeah, like that obviously happened. Like, yeah, that's not hard to put that together, but like it really was just kind of sickening to be like, yep, that's Hollywood, baby. Like all those things and cliches and stereotypes are pretty true. And like when they caught one of this guy, with assaulting a child star, Drake from Drake and Josh. I don't know if you are familiar with that show at all. I imagine you would be. With your age kind of lining up, I imagine that was a big show. But Drake was the one getting assaulted. And like he talked about, like as he had finally came forward and was trying to get this guy put away, like he talked about being in the courtroom and how like he only had like his friends and family there to support him, or really just his family. And he said like there were so many like execs and like powerful people in the producers corner, and like how they went through the list of all these celebrities who had written like character witness statements defending the guy that was the pedophile and the rapist. And yeah, and then like, thinking about your probation and how easily you got off. He was talking about how he got only sentenced to 16 months in prison. And then when he got out, was able to work on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, another kid show.
I don't think these two things have to be compared. I don't know why you have to tie me to this guy for what we did back in the day.
I'm just saying you both got off easy. That's all I'm saying.
You're both criminals.
You're both criminals. You both got off easy, and I don't know. I guess there wasn't no follow-ups on whether or not this guy was still doing bad things to young teenage boys. But
when you say he got off easy, was that supposed to be a joke, or did you?
No, I wasn't making a joke about Drake getting assaulted at age 14 and 15.
Hang on a second. Hang on. I thought that Drake got accused of some stuff, didn't he?
Well, he did. He did. But that was, a decade later, which is a whole nother wrinkle for me in terms of, they say a lot of the sex assault victims grow up and kind of become sex assault perpetrators, which I don't really know what happened with Drake. They touched on it in the documentary, but they didn't go into details. And he was like, nothing physical happened. He got in trouble for texting like a young girl, I'm pretty sure. And like talking to like an underage girl. He's like, nothing physical happened. I paid my time. I learned my lesson, blah, blah, blah. But like, it didn't make it sound like it was as bad as what happened to him. But that does add a wrinkle to it when I was watching it. Like, yeah, this is a cycle. Like when people get abused, they then become abusers too. So like it's definitely something I thought about. But yeah, also, that it painted the picture of basically, he talked about how he just basically after that happened, got into a lot of drinking and drugs to basically deal with being assaulted as often as he was and dealing with that. I don't know if that's exactly the only reason or if it's showbiz, it's all that stuff. But like, yeah, it added a wrinkle to that with him too. And then the first episode's about, Amanda Bynes, who we've laughed at as being like a crazy bitch over the last, 6 or 7 years. And it kind of paints a picture about her upbringing and like her scenario too. So
yeah, I'm sure she definitely got touched.
It was there was nothing like that in the episode in terms of her getting touched or anything, but just child stars, not good. Nickelodeon, not good in terms of, and then there's a lot of just like highlighting all the sex jokes and sexual innuendos they were putting in these kid shows.
Well, it's
a lot of weird stuff, a lot of creepy stuff with feet, and then just like making like young teenage Ariana Grande basically give a hand job to a potato and lay on her back and pour water all over her. Like, it was some weird stuff, man.
That's a nice, happy podcast topic. Speaking of the feet, did you see and sexual misbehavior? God damn it! I dropped my pen, and I can't get it. This bed is so low, I can't get anything that falls underneath it. Whenever I leave place,
add it to the roast list. God dreams of tying his shoes and being able to bend down to pick up a penny drops.
Luckily, I got another pen.
Bad turnover. BYU down 2 minutes left with the ball. Duquesne.
Oh, let's go Cougs. But I was going to tell you, just because that was an easy transition, there was an Oregon man arrested for grabbing women's feet and rubbing them on his face, which to me, like, should that be a crime? No, but like, it takes some effort, doesn't it? Like, that's pretty aggressive behavior. Because it's not.
So walk me through this. Like, was this out in public? He would just tackle people to the ground?
Well, I don't know about that. The way I imagined it is he's in a park and there's a woman sitting on a bench with shoes on, and he walks up and grabs the shoes and takes them off her feet and then grabs her foot and puts it up to his nose. I think it's pretty aggressive. It would be one thing if he was just sniffing women's feet, like who were, I don't know, maybe they already had their shoes off and they were just like sitting on the ground having a picnic or something, and he just like crawled up and got a quick sniff. That would be one thing. but it says that he was grabbing their feet and rubbing them on his face.
Does it also say he was forcibly taking the shoes off?
I made that part up. But I think the grabbing is the worst part. I think that's what makes this a crime. I think if a woman's got those piggies out and she's in the park and she's sitting on their tablecloths having her cheese sandwiches or whatever, and you crawl up there and she doesn't stop you and you don't make any contact, you can get a sniff, right?
Do we know what this guy looks like?
I got some mental images, but no, I haven't seen him.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because you've seen the meme about ugly guy gets HR called on him, pretty guy gets like, oh, you're so sweet put on him. So like, I'm wondering if he is ugly, creepy guy, because ugly, creepy guy grabbing my feet feels a lot different than handsome, buff guy grabbing my feet.
It was actually Ron Jeremy. Well, it's like you remember the guy in Nashville they arrested at the hotel who he was the night manager or whatever, and they caught him sucking on a guy's toes in the middle of the night?
Well, that's different. I don't know the scenario surrounding the organ foot rubber, but like coming in anywhere I'm asleep in the middle of the night is different. That's also breaking and entering, right? Like you're coming into my hotel room,
right,
and then putting them in your mouth. Like that's and for me, you know, guy on guy, I don't want no guy sucking my toes. Am I right?
Right. But let's try to put ourselves in their shoes. Let's have a little empathy. If that happened and it was a beautiful woman, wouldn't you react differently if the hotel night manager was a gorgeous woman?
Or now, how am I getting my toes sucked by a gorgeous woman if I am wearing shoes?
She removes the shoes. Why would you be wearing shoes while you're in bed?
I don't know. You said put myself in his shoes, so like I'm in shoes now.
I see what you did there.
Why would I be wearing shoes in bed? I don't know. It's your scenario, cowboy, not mine.
No, you would not be wearing the shoes, actually. That was a mistake on my part. But I don't know. It was just an interesting headline to me because it doesn't even talk about him like sniffing the feet. It's like he's rubbing them on his face. Like, to me, the smell would be the attractive. Like, I don't know why he's like rubbing them. Just want to rub them on his face. Like, I don't know. People are into some wild stuff.
I like having a woman's foot on my face.
Yeah, I've heard that about you.
It's nice. You just kind of press it up there. It's sometimes kind of cold, and you give it a little kiss. It feels good to have it up there. I kind of get the kink here. I'm not gonna kink shame. Just because he got arrested Just because he got arrested for it does not mean that I get to kink shame him, because I don't know what the crime is here, unless he's just tackling these women and taking charge there with their feet.
You know, you always say that you don't kink shame, but I feel like everybody draws a line somewhere, right?
Well, I draw a line to illegal activity. So if you're telling me like there's a lot of illegal activity going on here, and like, you know, if your kink is underage people or something, yes, I kink shame. If your kink is breaking in on people while they're sleeping, yeah, I draw the line there. But like, as long as people are consenting, I don't kink shame.
Can animals consent?
No, that's illegal.
Well, because I was going to ask you, the Penn State professor.
Yeah, if someone's like, hey, I've experimented by putting peanut butter on my thigh and letting my dog lick it off, I think that's disgusting. I think that's gross, just for the record.
Yeah.
But like that Penn State professor was having sex with his dog. That's a whole different ball game. That guy's a way different beast, if you will. Again, animals can't consent. I don't even think the peanut butter on the thigh thing works. I'm just saying that guy was way, 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 way worse.
I have never understood the peanut butter thing, because like that's a thing you hear about with girls mostly. And like, I don't know if it's really true.
I've heard it, but I don't. Surely to God, no one's actually doing it. I mean, I'm sure somebody has. A couple people have throughout time, but like, surely that's nobody's actual thing. But you underestimate just how lonely people are, man.
And how much white women love their dogs. Don't forget that.
And how much dogs love peanut butter.
When I was in like 8th grade, we spread a rumor about a girl named Autumn that she was into that. She had
add that to the list.
Yes, she had.
You're a fucking asshole.
I was in 8th grade. She had like cheated on one of our buddies or something. So we like spread some shit about her dog licking peanut butter.
How do you cheat on somebody in 8th grade?
You hook up with another 8th grader?
Like fucking?
We were fucking. Yeah, I mean,
In 8th grade?
Well, I didn't fuck until 9th grade, but some people were. Yeah. Some people definitely were.
I mean, I understand. I mean, some people are more sexually active early. I mean, 8th grade is when I started getting like some HJs, a little BJ. I didn't have sex till 9th grade, but like, I can't imagine that somebody in 8th grade has multiple sexual partners where they're cheating. This is a weird topic. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
It's Arkansas, man.
Okay. Up 5 now with 27 seconds left. Duquesne.
She don't lie. She don't lie. She don't lie. Duquesne. That's a pretty badass song to see live. Because I've seen Eric Clapton, not to brag, but.
Oh, man. You saw Eric Clapton?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of cool artists.
Wow.
Oh, I'm coming in for my birthday, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I know. I had to hear from somebody else.
Well, no, I told you about this like 2 weeks ago.
You told me you might do it. I heard the confirmed plans from somebody else. Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying I had to hear from somebody else first. You're not breaking this news to me.
Why is first of all, why is this already spreading around? Was this
Consider the source. Consider the people you tell.
Why are people talking about my plans to
consider the people you tell, buddy?
So it was Bear or Miles?
Bear.
Yeah. Bear does a lot of talking. For a guy that always wants you to keep a secret, have you noticed that? Like,
yeah, that's why I don't tell him anything, and like that's why I'm telling you to consider the source. You're wondering how would that get out? Like, think of the person you told.
Anytime Bear tells you something like that he thinks is a big secret, he'll always preface it with like, "Dude, whatever you got to keep this between me and you, okay? But so and so is doing this, Jake Miller did, blah, blah, whatever, whoever." But he's already told 4 people that same thing. He's like, "You got to keep this between me and you. It's a secret." Meanwhile, so he's just telling everybody.
So you're coming in for your birthday?
Yeah, I'm planning on it. I've already, well, actually, I don't already have my flight booked, but I'm waiting on my mom to book it because she said that would be my birthday present and she'd pay for my flight.
To go see your friends?
Yeah, it's only $100. So.
Oh wow, yeah, it's nice. She got off light for a birthday gift.
Well, actually, I need to call her because it's actually gone up to 105, and if we keep fucking around here, it's going to keep going up. So I need Ma to get this flight booked.
What's the current plan of arrival and departure? Or it's like dates. I mean, just dates you're coming in. Like how long you're going to be?
Friday. I'd be there Friday evening, April
the 5th.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd leave out Monday. Because I got to fly on those days because it's like Allegiant,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's why it's so cheap. You got to fly on a broken plane.
So you wouldn't be here actually for your birthday?
No. But I don't want it to be a whole thing about my birthday. I don't even care that that's just what I want to do. Like I'm not looking for a party or nothing. I'm just like I would. Yeah, like
I'm sure you'll want to see people and catch up, but you don't want a birthday party. You just want to hang out.
Yeah, I just want to see my friends that weekend. Seems like a fun thing to do. So maybe we get together, have some lunch.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be out of town.
No, well, fuck you.
I hate that for us. I'll be in Arizona for the Final Four.
Oh, give me a break.
I'll either be in Arizona for the Final Four, watching the Vols, or I'll be in Philadelphia for WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania weekend.
Grow up. WrestleMania? Really? You're going to go to Philly for WrestleMania? Didn't you go to Chicago last year, or did you?
I didn't end up going. That's like the 3rd Chicago trip I've canceled. I always act like I want to go to the city until it's time to go to the city. I'm like, never mind. I'm not going.
It's 41 degrees and this hotel's on the lake. I don't think so.
It always sounds good in theory, and then I never actually go. But yeah, like it was supposed to be like Thanksgiving, the weekend after Thanksgiving. I was like, nah, I don't want to travel that day. I don't want to either fly and get stuck in the airport or be on the road stuck in traffic. So I canceled.
Well, we're definitely not going to be in the Final Four, but maybe you'll be in Chicago, if you actually, or Philadelphia. You said. Do you think girls in Chicago tan?
I'd say they do in like the summer.
Yeah, Do you think they go to like tanning? How do you feel about tanning? Because I don't like girls who tan. That's something I've figured out is like if a girl tans a lot, I don't like that. I don't
What do
like
you mean
her.
tan? What do you mean tan? Lay out in the sun?
Like no, like goes to the tanning bed.
Oh yeah, no. Girls that lay in the tanning bed are gross to me,
Yeah.
and girls that use the self tanning lotion are a turn off for me. Like I like a tan woman, but like it needs to just be sunlight.
It's always blonde girls I've noticed that do that.
That's not true. That's not true at all. You're just perpetrating the stereotype of dumb blonde.
I've given a lot of rides to Palm Beach Tan, so.
Well, I'm not saying blonde-headed girls don't do it. I'm saying dark-headed girls do it too.
I'm not saying they don't do it at all. I'm just saying.
You're saying it's a blonde-headed thing, and I'm just telling you it's not. It's a woman thing.
I'm saying the clientele's 65% blonde.
Well, okay, you didn't say 65% blonde. You just said it was a blonde-headed thing, implying that only blondes do it.
Well, that's a pretty good share of the entire, 65% is a pretty good share, so that's enough for a stereotype.
Well, you're also just throwing that number out there. There's no proof that shows 65% of tanning clients are blonde. You're just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. But there's something about that. It's like I don't know if it's the need for attention. It's like if a guy does open mic comedy, probably a red flag. I don't know if it's a need for attention or if it's like it's a superficial thing. It's like, I'm okay with tanning in the sun. I love the sun. Everybody loves the sun. But yeah, the whole tanning bed thing, and just, I don't know. I do like cocoa butter, though. I like that. That's my favorite thing about picking up black women is the smell of cocoa butter. I love it. I wish more other people used cocoa butter instead of just like, because it's a thing in the black community, but I don't know why we don't do it too. Like, can we not culturally appropriate cocoa butter? Feel like we should, or at least have some candle scents that are cocoa butter.
I mean, you could buy cocoa butter and put it on yourself.
I could, yeah.
Well, why don't you appropriate it? Why don't you do it? Then you could smell it all the time.
Speaking of black people, move over, folks. February's history, Black History Month is done, and it is now National Women's Month.
It is March 21st.
Well, I just learned it was National Women's Month. How are you celebrating?
The same way I do every year. I give up my birthday to International Women's Day.
Oh, that's
my birthday is International Women's Day, and I celebrate with all the women in my life that I love.
It's very admirable of you.
All 2 of them. I give it up every day of the year. March 8th, my birthday, International Women's Day.
NASCAR's at Circuit of the Americas this week.
I don't care about NASCAR. I did see. Did you watch any of the Bristol race?
No, I didn't even know it was going on. I thought they did that in April.
They did a Bristol race last weekend, and I don't think a lot of people knew what was going on because it was about 30% full from the pictures I saw.
Is that the official Bristol Spring race, like the Cup Series?
I mean, I don't know. Fuck if I know. I assume so, but I don't know. People were there.
There's no way that Bristol would be 30% full if it was the official Cup race.
You can look it up yourself after the show, but
Corey says yes. We have comments on here. People can comment on here.
Yeah. Kane. Big win, boys. Let's go.
It ain't over yet, buddy.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't.
You're behind, my friend. It just went final.
Oh, okay. Looks like Creighton's going to get the job done. What else is happening? Did Michigan State win?
Yeah.
I assume. Yeah. Well.
Why are you so confident we're not going to make the Final Four?
Because we lost our last 2 games.
Yeah, that checks out. When things are good, you ride with the boys. When things are bad, you jump ship. That sounds about right.
I'm not jumping ship. Like, I'm still a fan, but like, I don't think we're going to make the Final Four. It's hard to do.
You have Creighton in the Final Four, right?
Yeah, which is it's really just because I don't like Purdue, so somebody's got to make it.
Well, if you don't like Purdue, there is another team you could have picked to have beaten them.
Yeah, I know. I don't trust Purdue, and I don't trust us, so we're going with Creighton.
Why do you trust Creighton?
I don't know, because they're not us or Purdue. They don't have a history of flaming out the lower seeded teams, do they? Maybe they do. Maybe I didn't do my research.
I mean, they made a deep run last year, but outside of that, I feel like McDermott's had a pretty bad run in terms of postseason success. They're the 1 seed that year with his son, I'm pretty sure, and they got knocked out early. I want to say in the second round.
Well, they got another guy like that now, Big White. I
What's
assume
his
it's
name?
White. Talkbrenner.
Who?
Talkbrenner.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I think it's Kalkbrenner, but either way.
What do you think about the Caitlin Clark narrative currently going on that she's, people are saying she's the best women's player ever, or she could be the best women's player ever, and like she's done more for the game than other people or something?
Well, it depends which one of those you're saying the narrative is. If they're saying she's the best women's player ever, I disagree. If they're saying she's done more for the game, that I might agree with. I mean, I don't know what other year, and I think it's a perfect storm. We've kind of talked about it, but like, it's a perfect storm between that and, men's basketball not having any stars. But she's been the biggest star in college basketball this year. I don't know at what other point you could ever say that about a women's basketball player, is that they're the biggest star in the country. She is, though.
Without a doubt, she's like, you could at the very least, you could call her the Steph Curry of women's basketball.
For sure.
At the very least, that's the comparison you can make. So anything above that is debatable, maybe. Like, I don't know where she ranks on the all-time list. Again, celebrating National Women's Month here. Talking about
she's
Caitlin
not
Clark
a better basketball player than Maya Moore. She's not a better basketball player than Candace Parker. Probably, I don't even know if she's better than like Taurasi and them. I don't think she's better than them. No, she does. I don't. Yeah, but like I think all those girls are better. My girl Cheryl Miller. I think all those girls are better.
Cheryl Miller.
She scored 100 points in a college game or in a high school game, bro.
Let's see her old ass pull up from half court. Caitlin
Cheryl would have worked her ass in the
floor
post.
with her.
Cheryl would have worked her ass in the post. But I mean, like Caitlin Clark, yeah, she's maybe the most impactful because she had the mainstream appeal of also being a white girl from mid America.
Oh yeah, that definitely helps. One thing that I'll say, that one reason that I think that Caitlin Clark is definitely changing the game is because I know she's bringing in new fans and stuff, but like the fact
hashtag change the game.
The fact that a guy like me will tune in when she's playing, like she's got me interested, and I haven't given a shit about women's basketball since the Lady Vols were good. So,
and she's not even that hot either.
She's not that hot, but she is kind of hot just because she's like good.
Oh, no, I know, but I'm saying, like, if you had told me last year that you were tuned into Miami games to watch the Cavender twins, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. He's got a twin fetish, and he thinks these girls are very beautiful. But you tell me that you're watching Iowa basketball, I know you don't think she's ugly, but you might just be tuning in to watch basketball.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a twin fetish either. I don't know where that came from, but I think that Caitlin Clark, just watching her play, the fact that she'll pull up from anywhere. I mean, yeah, it's like watching Steph Curry play. Again, it's a lower level game. Obviously, it's the women's game. It's inferior to the men's game in every way, but it's still exciting to me to watch, and I hope that they win it. Like, I can pull for a team like Iowa. I mean, I guess the Lady Vols are in the tournament, so I hope we win it, but obviously that's not going to happen. So, like, if they go up against LSU, though, I'm damn sure I got my Hawkeyes gear on.
Why is that?
Because that's what I like, is Iowa women's basketball. LSU's bad. I don't like that Angel Reese. I'm not a fan of her. And I don't like that.
Why not?
I don't like Kim Mulkey either.
What's the problem with Angel Reese?
I don't like her antics. And
Caitlin Clark has a similar type of antics.
Well, I don't like Kim Mulkey's antics either. So have that, Race Bader.
I would say the funniest part of
Mulkey's a bitch.
I would say the funniest part of all that is that Kim Mulkey is fuming at Angel Reese's antics as well. She doesn't like Angel Reese either. She wants to call her bad names too, but they're tied together. That's kind of the funniest part of it, is that she hates it too.
That's a very interesting dichotomy. Well, I guess it's just like sports in general, because usually you've got like a white coach And
Yeah,
it's
but there are very few coaches like I feel like, especially in college sports, there are very few coaches that I feel like are openly racist or like just feel racist. Like I'm not necessarily saying Kim Mulkey is racist, but like if you had to pick racist or not racist, I think we'd all vote racist.
Okay, this is a good topic. Let's come up.
Mike Gundy's a good submission. Like Mike Gundy's probably the other person you could think of, but like outside of those two, since I've been watching the last 20 years of college athletics, like I don't think I've gotten just, oh, that person's a really racist vibe. Like here in Tennessee, you maybe could have said you thought that about Jeremy Pruitt, but I don't know if you remember during COVID and the protests, he was going to lead a Black Lives Matters march, and he was like standing with his black players. So like, he wasn't a racist. Like Kim Mulkey never would have done that. Kim Mulkey was so, she was anti Brittany Griner. She wouldn't even try to like speak out in Brittany Griner's favor. And, that was somebody she had coached and had a personal relationship with.
Kim Mulkey definitely seems like she would be racist, and it seems like her and Mike Gundy would get it on. Like, I feel like that seems to me like those two would hook up at like a saloon.
No, not a saloon. They're hooking up at a boat dock out near the lake. Like,
there you go.
You get up to the marina and you have a couple drinks and have dinner, and you meet there afterwards for a little dancing.
And they're listening to that song about the party barge, or what, that country song. What is that song? It's like they're listening to like some Dierks Bentley and like some like Little Big Town or whatever.
On a pontoon.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
She's like, yeah, this is my song.
All right, let's play racist or not a racist for coaches. Bob,
it's gonna be hard. Oh, racist. Racist.
R.I.P.
Again, I don't know if he is or not, but he definitely gives racist energy, which is why I said the last 20 years. Like if you get back to like Woody Hayes and Bo, Bo Schemblack, or is that he says his name, Schembeck?
Shem no black slur.
Schellenberg, I don't fucking know. Bo Schemblack and Woody Hayes and
it's Schembeckler.
Yeah.
What? All right.
Is it?
Well, what's a good one that's like, what's a good borderline where you could think maybe he is, but maybe like Jim Harbaugh, maybe?
But I gotta say just about Bob Knight right quick. Have you ever heard like his stories about like recruiting Isaiah Thomas and stuff?
No.
Whenever he recruited like Isaiah Thomas, the old Pistons, Isaiah Thomas, like Bob Knight was good in the hood and like went into like Isaiah Thomas's house in Chicago, and like, Isaiah talks about how poor they were, and like he just stood there and kind of he bonded with the mother really well, and then also like challenged the brother to a fight. Like they almost got into a fist fight like out in the yard over some potentially like questionable stuff, and like basically had a problem with each other. And Bob Knight was basically like, well, look, we could go outside. Like him and the brother went outside, and I don't know if they fought or like what the actual thing was, but and he said he also went there and like told Isaiah like, we're not giving you any money, we're not doing that, we're gonna just give you an education. Told the mom I'm gonna take care of you, blah blah blah. And Isaiah talks about like how he had all these big offers for to get paid from all these schools and how they were poor, but like after Bob Knight left, his mom was like, "That's your coach, like that's where I'm sending you." And like basically like Knight, I guess, was enough of the old tough white man to win respect in the hood.
Yeah, you got to earn the respect.
Jim Harbaugh doesn't give me racist vibes. He played Colin Kaepernick over Alex Smith.
I feel like that's going into the hood. That's how you earn respect. Is you can't let them smell fear. You gotta
be careful with the let them. Yeah, be careful there. But
I mean the people in the hood.
That was similar for like Pete Carroll. They talked about Pete Carroll like could just walk around like Compton and Watts and just like people loved him there.
Like
like how he could just walk up and just be like the most popular person and
Pete Carroll
be good.
He's definitely a white liberal hippie. Like he's an ally, or at least likes to tell you he's an ally.
Looks racist though,
and he's probably done a lot for black people. Honestly, like a guy like Pete Carroll. So I feel like he would rank high probably in the not racist category.
But he looks racist because he looks like a tennis instructor like at a really expensive country club.
Mm-hmm. Probably so. Joe Paterno.
See, you're just playing all old coaches. I think all old coaches are going to
Bobby Bowden 100%.
Like all these coaches are going to lose this test.
Okay. All right,
but like I'm talking about modern coaches.
Okay, modern coaches, but it's got to be somebody like.
Because to me, it's just Kim Mulkey and Mike Gundy. Like I don't know who else we're getting.
Well,
here.
there's definitely more, but like, how do you define it?
Bob Huggins.
Yeah. Him and Gundy are drinking together. Has Gundy ever had a DUI? Definitely seems like he would have.
Dana Holgerson. Yeah, I think he checks this box as well.
Anybody who's coached West Virginia?
Maybe that's it.
So what about like what constitutes? Is it just coaches who prefer Fox News? Because I don't think you should call them racist. Because like I feel like Kirby Smart is a big Fox News guy, and I don't think Kirby Smart's a racist.
I didn't say it was. I don't think that Mike Gundy and Kim Mulkey are Fox News people. I think they're OWN. I think they're OAN.
Yeah.
And like, Gundy has talked about that. Like they're different. They go past the Fox News threshold. You can watch Fox News and not be racist, I think, but like I don't even watch OAN and not be racist, and they go past that threshold.
The old guy next to me that lives in the unit next to me, he's watching Fox News every morning because I can hear it when I go in. Like I go in to take a piss, and I can hear through the wall a little bit. Like they're talking about the border. It is these Mexicans out.
It is funny. I probably need to be careful because I work for a radio station called Fox Sports Knoxville. But it is funny. Like when the gym I go to, a lot of meatheads in there. I recently switched from the old man Y, and I go to a younger place. But like even them playing FS1 on the main TV gives me a little weird vibes because like Skip Bayless and like Colin Cowherd back to back, and I'm just kind of like, the Fox brand attached to that it makes me wonder if they're making like a political statement here. I don't know. Like if they're like, we don't like this liberal ESPN, so we're showing Fox Sports 1.
Do you think right winger when you think Colin Cowherd?
No, but when I think of Fox, yes, and like Fox Sports is a branch of that. So I'm saying I'm wondering if the gym is making a conscious decision to like not show ESPN because of liberal Disney.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a divide there. Like,
that's why. But it's bad that the sports channel makes me think that too. Of course, I know it between CNN and Fox News, but I'm talking about even like ESPN versus Fox Sports 1. It gives me that feeling now too.
I feel like there's definitely a market for both. But I want to go back to this coaches thing because I'm trying to think of
great people on both sides, very good people on both sides.
Yeah, like Ryan Day. I don't feel like it can be the coach of a big-time program because I feel like those guys, first of all, were heavily vetted. They got a lot of experience with different backgrounds of players. So I feel like it's not any of the perennial powers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes it so unique because, like to be a successful Division I coach at the high level, you have to have black players. You can't just win with a team full of whiteys. That's what makes Kim Mulkey, who has Angel Reese, the Bayou Barbie on her team, who got a pretty good feeling. I know how Kim Mulkey gets down. That's what's so funny about it is that she just seems so openly disgusted by her own player, and that she's very successful doing it.
I got a good one. Mac Brown.
Ryan Day, I thought was a pretty good one.
Mac Brown. Mac Brown is definitely teetering on like I'm not calling him a racist. It's like, but he's definitely teetering on that line. I feel like.
See, I kind of disagree. He had the balls to play a black quarterback while at Texas.
Yeah, because he had a Heisman Trophy winner. He had to. I mean,
well, I know. I'm just saying. I'm going to go no. I'm going to go no on Mac Brown. I think you're just saying old white man has to be racist. Is what that feels like.
I don't know.
Mac Brown doesn't give me that feeling.
Have you heard him talk?
He's just country. He's just Southern. He's from the same, what? He's basically from the same place as Rick Barnes, and Rick Barnes doesn't give me those vibes. So, no, I'm saying no there on Mac Brown. Mac Brown seems like a good old boy.
You know what? I take it back because I remember, like, when players started getting paid, wasn't he kind of on the forefront of, like, paying players?
I'm pretty sure, yes. Yeah. Kind of same as Jim Harbaugh.
He was, like, up to date on it. He was... he wasn't like, but who's a coach that would be like, because I feel like that's a pretty good sign if a coach doesn't really want players getting paid a lot. Nick Saban?
Dabo is the answer. It's Dabo Sweeney. He is the next closest in this game because he has always bitched about the players getting paid. And even went as far as 5 years ago or 3 years ago or whatever, saying if players ever start getting paid, he's going to the NFL. Like Dabo's the answer here. I can't believe it took us this long to get to it. Dabo belongs in the Mike Gundy and the Kim Mulkey range.
Definitely.
I don't think Saban is the answer, because Saban is not saying he doesn't want players to get paid. Saban's going to have his way to be like, hey, they should get paid, but it should come from the revenue we make from TV money, not just highest bidder from NIL collectives. He's saying the NCAA should do the paying.
What level of racism would it take for you to not support our football program? Like, if you found out that Josh Heupel was at like a Klan rally, this is obviously very theoretical, hypothetical.
Klan rally, no. Klan rally, no.
What if we went 12-0?
No, Klan rally, no.
You wouldn't keep him if we were 12-0 and he went to one Klan rally?
You're saying I wouldn't have the decision to fire him. I wouldn't like him, even if he went 12-0 and did that.
Let's say no one got hurt at the Klan rally, but he was there.
The Klan's got a different meaning now. The Klan's got a different meaning. The Klan now runs also in Nazi circles, it feels like. So you're basically calling him a Nazi, it feels like, in today's culture wars.
Would you rather him be a Nazi or a Klan member?
Well, I'm telling you, I think those are kind of interchangeable now.
I think that would upset a lot of Nazis and Klan members if you just group them all together like that. Those people. That's what they do. That's what
they do to everybody. Everybody non-white, they get put into a group. That's what their whole brand is.
Again, have a little empathy. Put yourself in the shoes of a Klan member.
I don't know what kind of shoes they wear. I can't see under the cloak. What kind of shoes do they wear? Boots?
They're definitely pointy. Oh, that reminds me, at that open mic Tuesday, there was a guy there who was black, blind, and had a stub for an arm. And so the roasts for him were fucking terrible. They were fucking he was laughing, he was in on it, and there were other black people there in the crowd. So but I made some kind of Clayton Bigsby joke. That was one of my jokes, was I don't even remember what I said, but there was some stuff that I don't even know if I can repeat it.
How did he read the joke if he's blind?
Can I tell you the best joke?
Well, first answer that. How did he read the joke if he's blind?
He had peripheral blindness, so he could read in one eye, but the other eye, he was blind.
You can tell me the best joke. Be careful though.
It's racist, but it doesn't have the N-word or anything, but it's it got the most laughs. Somebody said this one would go cheap at an auction, and it got a lot of laughs, and he laughed at it. So I feel like it's okay. But he had a stub for an arm, and the guy, he started his whole set though with he said God punished me twice or 3 times. I don't know what I did, what my parents did to upset God. So he was, he had a sense of humor about it. But.
All right. Good luck this weekend. I'll talk to you next week. We might try to do a little special mailbag edition of the podcast and just take some questions from listeners and dive into that. So I think that'd be a nice little end of the month treat. So keep an eye on, I'll put up a sheet on the patreon.com/Reed's Ranch and get some questions coming in.
If there's anybody I know who likes a mailbag, it's you.
It's 2024. So what if I did? That would be fine. Have a good